I'm Transtastic, it's me again. So my name is Kai, if you are new to the channel, or my videos, and this week's topic is questions we get frequently asked as a trans person. I really like this topic and I thought it was cool for me to talk about because I'm younger, so I'm not going to get some of the questions you hear a lot in the media that like aggravate trans people, which they should, like, have you had the op? No one's asking me if I've had the op, because, yeah, I mean, I have it. So, but I do get some other questions. So I'm going to talk about a few questions that I get asked, and before I start this, it's good to be curious. It's not bad to be curious or bad to ask questions, because questions are how we learn, but it's knowing the correct time to ask the questions, understanding is that question going to insult someone, not being too invasive with your questions, and just, having respect for the trans person. Some do like to answer a lot of questions. I personally like to answer a lot of questions, and I don't usually get offended by questions. And some people are very offended by little questions, and they really don't want to talk about being trans to people. So everyone is different. Just know kind of where your friend or relative or whatever, where they stand on that. And if you don't know, just ask them. Be like, hey, are you comfortable answering some questions about being trans? Take their answer. So the first question I get asked a lot is when I came out and how long have I known? So this is a kind of difficult question to answer because they're two very different things. I've known for probably like 2 years now, but I've only came out in the last few months. And what aggravates me is when I explain to people that I've only came out so recently, they feel like my identity isn't as valid as someone who's come out and been out for so long. But that doesn't make sense to me because everyone had to start somewhere. Just because I've only came out in the past few months, it doesn't mean my identity is any more malleable or I could be going back. I know who I am. It doesn't matter my age, it doesn't matter how long I've known who I am. I still know, and if I'm saying I know, I'm probably not changing. It's only very few cases that people have this as some kind of weird phase. The next question I get, and this is just genuine curiosity, is what bathroom I use. Now, that's an okay question to ask if I didn't get it in such random ways. Like, I will just be sitting there eating Cheetos, and someone will be like, hey, what bathroom do you use? And I'm like, this is not the appropriate time. Please leave me and my high fructose corn syrup snack alone. And I just think you want to go up to a cis person and ask them what bathroom they use. I usually try and come up with a funny answer, like I use the bathroom with the door. I use the one that says bathroom on it, I use the one at my house. It's just that, it's just not something you really ask people. It's not a good conversation starter. I just don't think it's a good thing to ask people. If you must know, I use the bathroom at my house. That's my answer. I don't usually trust public restrooms. I don't like being in public restrooms. So, there's your answer there. Another thing, and this is not a real question, but people think it is when I say, I'm male, they'll be like, oh, but you do this. Oh, but you do that. Oh, but you do this. No, if I have a characteristic about myself that is stereotypically feminine, that does not mean that I'm not male, sometimes I wear makeup or I'll do something girly and someone will be like, oh, but I thought you were a boy, or oh, but aren't you a boy? Aren't you more masculine? Yes, sometimes I'm masculine, but let's be honest, I'm scrawny and skinny and I have a very high-pitched voice. And sometimes I'm attracted to feminine things. It doesn't mean that I'm not male, because gender expression and gender are two very different things. The next question I get asked a lot is about my sexuality. And I think it's odd that people have more of an interest in your sexuality if you're trans. Because if you're not trans and straight, then I think people get a little confused. It makes sense. In mainstream media, a lot of the public figures that are trans are straight. So when I say that I'm not, people get really confused and they kind of just can't get that sexual attraction or attraction in general and gender are two totally different things. So no, I don't, I can like whoever. That has nothing to do with my gender. So yeah, you guys, that was me talking about some questions I get asked. I don't think questions are a bad thing. If you want to ask me questions, let me know. I am happy to educate. Just know that everyone doesn't want to educate. So, thank you guys for watching. I will see you next Sunday. Bye!